G'day, this is Artist Reignited. Just wanted to talk about an update video on the guppy pond that's outside. I did a video a couple of weeks ago about it, just the progress of sort of how I built it and how it established with the solar powered pump recirculation idea. So the guppies that I do have outside in the pond there, these little tiny black ones, and they look like they've got inlet DNA in them. Eventually I'll bring some inside in this tank so we can view them. But we'll head outside and we'll have a look at the pond, and I'll show you an update. It is proper hot today in Queensland. It's roughly about 33 degrees, but it feels a lot hotter than that. So it's been 2 weeks now, and the Ludwigia plant, or the Mossiac Ludwigia, has sort of grown a bit more. The guppy grass has established a lot more as well. And there you can see the solar power pond's working. It's pumping the clean water out of this pond into there. This top pond, as I said in my other video, sort of acts as like a bit of a biological buffer to help clean up the water. I've also put some other plants in here, small rotala sort of thing. And then I've got the Bulia or foxtail, a few different names for that one. That's growing in there too. It might take a bit longer to establish, but once it does establish, over say a couple of months, it'll grow really quick. And then I've got one of these media rods in here. Just having a nice coffee. It's proper hot today. These media rods, they're called Dynex media rods. You can get them for about $3 or $4 down at your local fish places, and they do grow quite a fair bit of bacteria. I highly recommend them over the cheap sort of bio noodles. So yeah, that whole system is functioning pretty good. Might not see any guppies in here because it is really hot and they're probably hiding down below. I might just see if I can get the camera in there and we'll just have a look and see if there's any in there. I'll just have a little peek, check underneath. There's one there swimming around the bottom there. Alright. They are down there, they're just very good at hiding. But yeah, this guppy grass is actually growing quite well. Oh, there they are. So there are a couple of baby females that I've put in. I've got 2 males in here and now 3 females. These females are from the same chain. I'm not an expert on fish breeds, but I know that the colours that I want are all in here, which are just all black guppies, and I'm hoping that they keep that colour chain as they breed and reproduce. The interesting thing about this pond is it cost me basically nothing, just an old container in the shed and a plant pot, solar pump which I happen to have and I never used, and then I also had the soil put in there which was just out of the backyard. And then I've also got some Monte Carlo down the bottom there. It will establish eventually. I've put some there, and I've sort of put some down in here too, down the bottom. This Mossiac Ludwigia seems to have very strange roots. Sort of over here, it sort of grows up like almost like a Christmas tree or something, eh? Got a bit of guppy grass here, which I never intended to plant. It must have broke off the other one and moved over. And over here too, you see this guppy grass is very versatile. It will break off and it will spread around, which is fine because it'll protect your fish from predators as well as give them shade. Yeah, the entire setup here did not cost me anything other than just time and effort. So if you do have a shed full of junk, like I do, try and use it if you if you want to set up more ponds or do more around your garden. This Hessian bag I got as well. You can get this from Bunnings or warehouse places and that. This heshing I find keeps the UV plastic off the pond. Keeps the UV from damaging the plastic pond, or the plastic container. And it also gives it sort of more of an aesthetically pleasing nature look, I guess. But the whole thing is, you could even put some vine plants, like some pothos or Sigonium, and just have it grow up the side, if you really wanted to have that takeover look. And I've just got a bromeliad here, sort of like a long fin one. These are just some fence posts that I got from a previous job that I've done, fence work I did. And then I've got a cordyline here. There's a few different species of cordyline, like that one sort of over there. It's a pink and purple one. So there are a few different variations. So I'm hoping that that'll grow tall like the one over there, and maybe just add some more shade as well as just aesthetics really around the pond. And this little solar pump from eBay costs $5, and it just pumps out a little bit like that. And then when this fills up, it just gravity feeds back in. The bricks are just lying around doing nothing, so I use them to lift this up. I have had an issue with cane toads. We do have quite a lot of cane toads in Queensland, Australia. Excuse me. And the problem is, when you have a pond this low down, you can't put too many things around it, like bricks or plants or ornaments, because it gives the cane toads a sort of a stepping stone to jump in. And they can be a real menace in your pond. The tadpoles, I do believe, are poisonous if you fish eat them, as well as the fact that they just mess up your plants and they sort of go down the bottom and they cause a bit of devastation there. So I want to try and get some pavers, maybe at Bunnings, sort of the 30 by 30 centimetre square ones. Maybe get a couple of them and lift this up about that much, maybe 3 inches or so, just to keep it up a bit higher. Or maybe I was thinking even using Besser blocks to get it up higher. The whole thing is, you just want it up high enough so toads don't jump in, because you can't stop birds or snakes or cats or possums. Possums aren't really a predator necessarily, but they do like to scurry around. So the idea is to also keep it up high so you don't have to sort of lean over as much to view it. So I like the look of them up high, each to their own, but that's just me. Another plant I've added in here is these Kana lilies. This is just a cutting from the one over there, which I explained in the last video about this pond. Now it's sort of rhizomed, a new one here. Rhizome is just a plant that sort of comes off the root system. And then you can see its roots are sort of going out from under the pot, so we can get those nitrates out. And I've got a couple of other pond plants here as well, just to sort of grow in like a little static bog filter. And as for keeping them up out of the water, I've just used bricks, sort of stack them up on each other. Some of these bricks have got holes in them too, so especially the ones down the bottom, they allow the guppies to hide a bit too. But yeah, this system is working quite good. Just want these guppies to get settled so they can breed, and I can have this pond just full of this one particular colour I like, which are these black guppies. I'll show you over here where they come from and how I selected them. So I selected the guppies out of these ponds. This guppy pond system here has many different breeds. So none of my guppies are purebred. Well, I guess most of them aren't in the aquarium trade. That's how they create different chains. But anyway, I selected some of the best looking hybrid ones out of the sort of darker coloured ones. And then they wound up sort of going over there in the new pond there, or the solar panel circulation pond. And they originally come from this mum here. She's at the top there. There she is, there's one there. That's the baby mother. And there's the big mother here. Just trying to see the reflection. They originally come from her, so she's had more there. More dark babies there. Where she is, but yeah, she's about that long, and she's dark, and she's like a dark sort of charcoal coloured guppy, and she's got a yellow tail. So she's the one who gave birth to those two dark looking endler things there. And she also gave birth to some females, which I've got over there in that pond. And then I chucked in just four females that she gave birth to. There's another one there. And then I also chucked in 2 males that she gave birth to. And since then she's given birth to 2 more males, which you just saw swimming around there. They got like sort of the endless shaped tail. But, yeah. She's very temperamental. She doesn't want to come up top to have a look. But that's her 2 little sons there. There she is, right there. Yeah, so she's the original one that created that sort of dark colour change by breeding with those yellow guppies. So now they're all over there, and they're going to be breeding again to sort of keep that colour going, and hopefully not have any yellow in there, because she would have been breeding with those other yellow guppies. So this is sort of the hybrid pond, full of all different breeds, and then I'll just select the colour I like and then try and keep that colour breeding in a different pond. And that's actually my first time doing that, which is funny enough in the solar panel pond, which is my latest pond. And then over here I've got the sort of banana-y coloured guppies that have the red tails. So they're all original. That's just the babies there, but they're all original. They haven't mixed with any other coloured breeds. So the idea will be, like I said many times, I'm going to keep all the black ones, charcoal coloured ones in here that come from the charcoal female over there. I'm going to call her multiple names, by the way. That's how I waffle on. I haven't really picked a particular name for her. All I know is she's a charcoal guppy with a yellow tail, and she's created these sort of little charcoal endler ones. And then they're going to breed in there, and hopefully reproduce, and then create their own sort of charcoal coloured chain in there. Yeah, let's just call them charcoal guppies. So we've got the hybrid guppies there, the yellow ones over in the original sort of guppy pond and the circuit system there, and then these will be the charcoal guppy pond. So my next update video on this will be the charcoal guppy pond, or the solar powered pond with charcoal guppies. Yeah, you can build a system like this next to nothing really. And the advantage of solar is you don't need to pay the power bill. I've got air lines feeding in here just for extra filtration, but really you don't need it. You could just get away with having a system like this running just the solar. And even better, you could get a battery powered solar system so it runs around the clock as well. Yeah, you can definitely see that guppy grass is just taking over. It's such a lovely plant. I just love it how it provides hiding places for your fish, and it also just looks aesthetically nice in the pond. It also really removes your nitrates. It will clean your water very well. I mean, it's good to have a combination of plants, but if you had a pond just with guppy grass, I am confident that it would keep that water clean. being the fact you got a good water volume and not too many fish. As well as this plant here, the Mossiac plant. I think the full name for it's Ludwigia sidiodes. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm not a botanist, but comment below if you know how to say the full name of this plant. I'm happy to learn more about plants. This is part of my hobby here. But this plant, it's just so sort of buoyant and very resilient, especially in storms, and your fish don't tend to eat it, and it just gives your fish shade as well. Anyway, that's enough waffling on for today. Just thought I'd give you an update on this pond system. Very appreciate your support for the channel and hearing me out with my passion in nature. I just love waffling on about it. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is Artistry Ignited. Tune in again soon.